Hello, boys and girls. I am back again today for some new learning. We are still going to focus on volume. However, this is definitely not a regular rectangular prism. So this is called an irregular rectangular prism. And we can still use our volume formula to find the volume. However, we have to do a little bit of work first. So quick review, volume for a regular rectangular prism is length times width times height. And you should have got a little bit of practice with that yesterday. So if I look at this shape here, I notice that it kind of looks like two rectangular prisms put together. And I know that if I can make this into two separate rectangular prisms, I can use the volume formula for each. But before we do that, I want to review some of our knowledge of shapes. So if this line right here is 4 centimeters, that means its opposite line is also 4 centimeters. If this line up here is 3 centimeters, this opposite line is also 3 centimeters. Now, the reason why they all aren't labeled is one, we should know that opposite lines are equals when opposite sides are equal in rectangles. But if I went and labeled all of these, it would get just a little bit confusing. So I'm just gonna leave those two there as a reminder, and I'm going to cut this shape so that it's two rectangular prisms. And the first one I see is this line right here, okay? So I'm gonna cut that to make this rectangular prism, okay? And then I can also see this smaller rectangular prism. So now I've made it into two different boxes, kind of like a small box stacked on top of another. And just for explanation, I'm going to call this one A and this one B. Okay? So now my first step is to make the cut. So I made that cut straight across, so now I have rectangular prism A and rectangular prism B. Step 2 is find the volume for each rectangular prism, okay? I'm just gonna abbreviate that with RP. So when I look at A, I know to find the volume for A, I need length, width, and height. So I need this length. I have this height and this width. So I already know that this is 2 centimeters times 6 centimeters, and I'm missing this last one over here. So I need to use all of my knowledge of all of these other numbers to figure out how long this side is. Well, if I look, this bottom piece is 4 centimeters, okay? Which would also mean that this bottom piece that's back here would be 4 centimeters, because remember, opposite sides are equal. So if this bottom piece is 4 centimeters, I now know that this longer piece is 4 centimeters. So I had to use some of my geometry knowledge to figure out how long this piece was. But now I can fill that in. 2 times 6 times 4. Okay, 2 times 6 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. We're using centimeters, so I'm going to put cubic centimeters. So that's just for volume A. I now have to find the volume for box B as well. So over here, I'm going to do the same thing for box B. I need the length, the width, and the height. So I have this piece right here, which I know is 3 centimeters, times this piece right here, which is 4 centimeters, because if this side is 4, this side is 4. And then I need to know this height. So I know the total height is 4 centimeters, but that's for this little piece of orange and this pink. So this total is 4 centimeters. I'm only looking for how much the orange is. So I have to use my math knowledge. If I just look at this pink rectangle, this height says 2 centimeters. So if I transfer that over to just this pink side, I know that the pink is 2 centimeters. Now that I know my total is 4, my pink is 2 centimeters, can I figure out my orange? I can, because 2 plus 2 equals 4. So the height of just the orange is 2 centimeters. So I can complete my volume formula and have 3 centimeters times 4 centimeters. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 centimeters times 2 centimeters is 24 cubic centimeters. So now that I have my volume of box A, which is 48, and I have my volume of box B, which is 24, I can move on to step 3. And step 3 is to add the volume of both rectangular prisms. So I'm going to take the volume of A, which is 48, plus the volume of B, which is 24. And I'm going to do some math over on the side. 8 plus 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 5, 6, 7. So my total volume is 72 centimeters cubed. So it says, what is the total volume? 72 centimeters cubed. So this is the first time we are doing irregular shapes, so I do have another problem to show you. This is a lot of work, okay? None of it was difficult. It's simple multiplication. It's using our knowledge of geometry, but I know we're going to need to use our math perseverance on these types of shapes, okay? So I have another shape that we're going to do together before I let you try your practice problems. Okay, I am going to make these a little bit darker because I'm not quite sure if you can see these. I'm going to leave my 3 steps here. I have 12 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet, 8 feet, and the last one is 7 feet. So I'm going to review these steps. First of all, I'm like, whoa, this is definitely an irregular rectangular prism. So I can't just use this volume formula. I have to follow these 3 steps. Step number 1, cut the shape so that 2 prisms are made. This one's actually already cut for us. Okay? So I'm going to use my color to draw the face of this one. We'll call this one B. And again, we'll make this larger one A. So step number 2, find the volume for each rectangular prism. So I need the volume for A, and I need the volume for B. Each time I'm rewriting that volume formula so I can analyze the shape and see, okay, do I see the length, do I see the width, do I see the height, or am I going to have to use my math knowledge? So the first thing I'm going to do is volume A. I see I have the length and the width. Okay, again, if this bottom piece is 8 feet, using my knowledge of rectangles, I know that this piece is 8 feet. So I have 7 feet and 8 feet. Okay, now I need to find this height. Good thing it's already labeled right here with 2 feet. So just by looking at my numbers, I know the length is 7 times 8 times 2. So I'm going to start with 7 times 2. Excuse me, I'll start with 7 times 8. You could do 7 times 2 because it's multiplication, but 7 times 8 is 56 times 2. If you don't know that in your head, that's totally fine. We're going to come over here and do some math in the corner. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So my volume for A equals 112 cubic feet. All right, but I need to find the volume for both before I can move on. So let's look at B. So for B, if this is 3 feet, I know that this is also 3 feet. And if this is 2 feet, I know that this is 2 feet and this is 2 feet. So I have 2 times 3 times my missing length. I need to find this right here. I'm not quite sure what it is. But again, I know my total. Okay? The total for both pink and orange is 12 feet. I need to use my other numbers. So this plus orange is 12. That whole line is 12. But since I cut the box, I separated that line into pink and orange. Now, I know that if this is 8 feet, this is 8 feet. So how much is this pink? Hopefully you said 8 feet. So now I know my total is 12. So pink is 8 plus orange equals 12. Let's write orange so you don't think that's a 0. So 8 plus orange equals 12. So 8 plus what equals 12? That is 4. So we now know that the orange piece is 4. So I can go back to my formula and plug it in. 2 times 3 times 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So I found the volume for A. I found the volume for B. I look up here, step 3 is to add the volume of both. So I have 112 plus 24 equals 4 plus 2 is 6, 2 plus 1 is 3, 1 plus 0 is 1. 136 cubic feet. So today during your module, you are going to do some practice problems. Take your time. Follow these 3 steps and you should be successful. Remember, if you have any trouble, you can call me, text me, email me, or Class Dojo, and we can do a live conference if that will be easier, but I am here to help. This is new learning. We are going to do more practice with these same irregular rectangular prisms tomorrow as well. So try your best, and remember, use your math perseverance and just try and put forth 100% effort. Bye, guys.